Donald Trump Jr., Donald Trump Sr. Well, it is a tough question as to who's got more issues with intelligence. Let's put it that way. Although the graphic puts it a little harsher. And so will our poll in a second, so hold for that. But to give you the context, now you know all the crazy things that Donald Trump Sr. has said that make you question his intelligence. Things like, nobody knew healthcare was this complicated. Nobody knew it. I just discovered it. And nobody knew North Korea was complicated. No, you schmuck, we all knew it was complicated. Let alone the third grade reading level that he has, let alone the fact that now they've got his presidential daily briefings not just down to a page, they had it up with a page with pictures and graphs. Now it's down to tweet length explanations for him. So that's the dad. On the other hand, we have the son, and we found out the son bumbled into a meeting with the Russians, goes, oh yeah, I'd love to get secret information that the Russian government has and use it in the campaign, right? So now, let's find out if White House officials are frustrated by that. So they talked to the Daily Beast, and they said, this is the sum of all fear stuff. It's what we've all been dreading. Now, they've been dreading it for a number of reasons. One, because maybe some of them already knew that they had colluded with the Russians. And maybe it's because they knew they had a time bomb, an intellectual time bomb with Donald Trump Jr. on their hands. So here are some devastating quotes. The series of revelations surrounding Trump Jr.'s communications with Russian officials have damaged his standing within the president's political inner circle. Now that is an understatement given what comes next. As the Daily Beast reported on Sunday, opinion of Trump's eldest son among some of Trump's senior aides, both past and present, is vanishingly low. So their opinion of him is already vanishingly low, barely exists. This made it even worse. Okay, since the campaign, a popular behind his back nickname from Trump Jr. among 3 advisors has been Fredo, referring to Fredo Corleone, the insecure and weak failure of a son in The Godfather series who ends up causing major damage to the family. Fredo indeed. Okay, those are not my words. Those are people that work for Donald Trump inside the White House. Okay, they say over the past week, one senior White House official and a former top Trump campaign aide both independently and bluntly described the president's son as an idiot. I can't get enough of this story. All right, so by the way, they noted while they wrote that article, as of noon Tuesday, he had yet to tweet out, Donald Trump Sr. had yet to tweet out a single defense of his eldest son. And it's not like he's shy about tweeting, and in that time, he'd been tweeting about many things. Finally, a tweet arrived, or a statement arrived from Donald Trump Sr. Saying, my son is a high quality person, and I applaud his transparency. So nothing defending him on the Russian allegations at all. And that is not a usual Donald Trump tweet. Usually it comes in with, oh, everybody else is sad and they're all babies and everything is phony and fake and my son is awesome and he's the smartest guy. No. Somebody wrote this for him and it's, boy, it is a really weak defense, which is he's high quality and at least he's transparent. It's almost a way of saying, at least we now all know how stupid he is. It used to just be a family secret. Okay, so with that background, we bring you a very important poll at the Young Turks. Who is dumber, Donald Trump or Donald Trump Jr.? So go to tytnetwork.com/stupid. And this is not an easy contest, man. I know the young son's a knucklehead and he's so stupid, his dad thinks he's stupid. Okay. On the other hand, it is hard to get less bright than Donald Trump. So, this is gonna be the thriller in Manila. Okay, and they probably both think, oh, why? Are we gonna be fighting inside an envelope? And by the way, we had to use tytnetwork.com/stupid because we've already done a version of this poll. Who's dumber, Donald Trump or George W. Bush? That one was tytnetwork.com/dumb. By the way, the results are overwhelming. Over 21,000 people voted in that poll. The poll's still up, you can still vote. Maybe you can swing these results, but for the moment being, 79.8% of people saying, no, Trump is even dumber than Bush. Bush, I remember when you were the standard bearer for stupid. It's been a long time, and a whole new group of Republicans have come in to replace you. Now it's senior versus junior. Can't wait to see how this turns out. Can't wait. Help us build independent media together. tytnetwork.com/join.